How do you feel about typos? I hate them. The few times I've discovered mistakes in my blog posts, or worse, when you've discovered typos and called me on them, I die the death by 1,000 cuts. Humiliating and eternally painful, typos are the shorthand indications of sloppiness, carelessness, tardiness, or all of the above. Yet as awful as they are, there are times when typos can be useful. For example, when I ran my ad agency, we'd get lots of resumes in our office from hopeful job seekers. When the agency was busy, which thankfully was most of the time, it was difficult to wade through all of the resumes. Typos are a great way of thinning the herd. After all, if a potential employee doesn't care enough about their own work to check it for errors, what's going to happen when they're being paid to do work for our clients? If prospects can't even bother to spell my name correctly in their cover letter, then their resumes are going directly into the circular file under my desk. Another time I find typos useful is when filtering out phishing emails. I don't have a Bank of America account, but I do get an awful lot of emails from BOA or from someone pretending to be them. If I did do business with Bank of America, I might feel the need to open all those emails to check if they're legit. But since almost every scam email I come across has a spelling or syntax error in it, typos serve as a very effective spam filter. My guess is that most of the professionals creating online promos for BOA or Citi or Amex or wherever are scrupulous about their text. In fact, I would even bet that the typos are there so the scammers can actually eliminate people who might look a little deeply into what it is they're sending. Typos are particularly useful when you're buying something on eBay because lots of sellers aren't careful with their typing and they often produce posts with misspelled titles. That means that people searching for these products won't find the offers and the prices won't get bid up. Believe it or not, there are websites where you can put in the names of the things you want to buy and the sites will search the goods with their commonly misspelled names. You don't even have to make them up. I searched the word basketball on typobuddy.com and got back over 140 viable searches with words such as hasketball, basketball, 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 basketerball, and basket the ball. How many aspiring hoopsters do you know who would search for a brand new basketball? When I teach marketing classes, I spend the first day talking about typos. Specifically, I tell my students that I won't accept assignments that misuse there, and there, to, and to, or your, and your. I remind them that imply and infer don't mean the same thing, and neither do ironic and coincidental. Also, that the words that and which are not interchangeable, and fewer and less have different uses. Am I being too picky? Maybe so. After all, the point of the class is to teach the art of creative concepts, not grammatical correctness. But one of the most important parts of the creative process is the ability to sell great ideas. And if you can't convince people of the quality of your thoughts, then it's awfully difficult to excite them with the quality of your creative products. Perhaps you think I'm being picayune. There are lots of blogs on the net telling people to shut the hell up about typos, calling us small-minded, uncreative, and obsessive perfectionistas. One woman even wrote that anyone who's committed to writing regular blog posts knows that it's impossible to do so without regularly publishing typos. And maybe she's right. After all, anyone can make a mistake and anyone can miss a typo. I certainly produce my share of errors. But if the whole point of written communication is to build a relationship with regular readers and establish thought leadership, then the roadblocks that typos create get in the way of easy understanding. As I see it, presenting a document replete with typos is the grammatical equivalent of making a presentation with your zipper open. Want more? Here's a poem about a computer spell checker titled, "Don't Rely on It, Proof Your Writing." I didn't write it, so please don't blame me for any typos you may find. I have a spelling checker. It came with my PC. It plainly marks for my review mistakes I cannot see. I strike a key and type a word and wait for it to say whether I am wrong or right. It shows me straight away. As soon as a mistake is made, it knows before too long, and I can put the error right. It's rarely ever wrong. I've run this poem through it. I'm sure you're pleased to know it's letter perfect all the way. My checker told me so.